Hi there, my name's Vince from mymatevince.com, and in this video today we're going to be fixing up this Volkswagen Golf. This is a Mark V 1.6 FSI model from 2008. The problem is the back door doesn't lock. So the other three doors lock fine, but the back door's not locking. So we're going to find out what's wrong with it and then fix it up. So if you have a look here, when we lock it, this one locks fine, but this one still opens. Open it, lock it. So this is the one we need to work on. And another thing which is hopefully linked to it is it's not recognising that the back door is open. For example, if I open up the front door here now, you can see that it recognises that it's open. But if we do the same with the back door, which is now open, you can see it's not recognising it there. And this car has had very little mileage and the back door's barely been used. So what we've quickly done is we've just prized this little rubber part off here because it is possible that the wires could have broken with the flexing through this bit. So we've moved it off and just had a look in here. By eye, they look to be okay. Again, this door hasn't been used much, so it would be unlikely that it's failed there. So what we're going to do now is take the door skin off so we can actually get access to the lock. So the first thing we're going to do is remove this panel that goes down here. So we're just going to get a screwdriver and just gently pry in this top little bit. And now that will start to unclip. You can see it's just held in with these little poppers here. If, when you look here, you've lost some of these, just check the holes and then you'll have to pop them out. They're just little plastic bits, and then you can see this one here stayed in the car. So we just need to put it back in here and slide it into place. Like so. Next up, we need to remove this little sticker here and it will uncover this access hole. In here, there's a Torx 15 screw and we need to turn it 10 times in order to get the lock out. There we go. And now the dummy lock comes out. The next thing we're going to remove is this little black rectangle here, and you can see it's attached to a metal cord. So this is what's actually allowing the lock to move out. So what we're going to do is just prise it out from there, make a note of where it is because you want to put it back in the same position. Now you can see the serrated bits just in here, and that's what allows this to go in at different levels without pulling all the way through. We need to remove this handle, so what we're going to do is open it up and we're going to pull it towards the back of the car. Next, we're going to use a T20 Torx bit and undo this screw here. We're going to be undoing all the bolts going down here, underneath, and also up around here as well. You can see them here and here. And we're going to be using a T30 Torx bit. Now what we're going to do is, because there's so many bolts and they're different sizes, we've just drawn a picture of the door and we're just going to punch through where each of the bolts go. And then we know when it comes to putting them back, they'll be in the correct order. And this gives me the perfect opportunity to shout out the My Mate Vince Massive. And this month that is Operational 117, kitdigital.com, Kip Hakes, Max Rokotansky, Having Fun Repairs, Ellensburg Amplifier Repair and Service, Will Michaelis, Stephen Kilgore, Chris Seal, the My Mate Vince Fan Club, Dorian from Hoover Lux Restorations, Doctor Restoration, Mr. Directory and MediaSteamer.com. Massive, 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 massive thanks to you all. Thank you so much. We're just about to try and take the door skin off and it's not coming because look, there's a sneaky one. So there's 18 screws. There's another one hidden down just here as well. Now, because this is the very last bolt that we're undoing, we've got our foot underneath the door skin and I'm holding it from the other side as well to make sure it doesn't drop off. So we're going to sort of manhandle it from this side and then wiggle it left and right until it kind of breaks the seal and then it will come out. There we go. And now the door skin is off and that reveals the door on the inside. And what we want to work on is this area in here, because whatever it is, it looks like it's not making a good contact. For these two big bolts that are holding in the lock, you need something called a triple square, which is a 12-sided bit. Triple, 3 squares, so 4 sides on each square, so a 12-sided bit. And yeah, they will come out. I've never heard of that particular bit before, so that's something new to me. Now, to remove this connector here, we need to get our nail and push it on this bit here and push it out, this little bit here. So push it out that way, and then it will nice and gently lift out like so. Next, we want to remove this white plastic from around the edge here. It's clipped in. The clips will probably break as you do it. Right, so that's now off, and that will give us access to this. We need to remove this white thing here. This is for the inside door handle. So now we need to pinch those 2 bits of plastic, push it through. There we go. And now we just need to unclip that from there. Now, just to show you this bit in more detail, so you need to push this bit here like so, and then it will allow you to get this bit, it will allow slack on here to take that bit out like that. We now have this free, so this is the part we want to bring into the house, and now we want to take this apart to find out why it's not working. On this car, on the back doors, you can see that there is no side airbags, but on the front on this car there would be airbags. So obviously if there's airbags, you want to make sure you don't mess with them whatsoever. So here comes the fun part. We need to take this apart to find out what's going wrong with it. So to begin with, we're going to be using a T10 Torx bit, and we're going to be undoing all these screws around the edge here. Now we need to remove this spring. So this is a little bit fiddly, but if you get some pliers, there we go, like so. And now we can pull that out. It would be worth taking a picture of this beforehand on your phone to make sure you know where things go. So that's out now. Now we're going to be using a T20 bit, a Torx 20 bit. And we're going to undo this big one here. Now we're using a T9 bit, all different, to undo this one here. We have a little clip here and a little clip here, and we need to separate the 2 parts, so this plastic part with the motors in from the mechanism here. We also need to push this to one side to give us access to allow us to take this out, like so. So I'm going to use a little pry tool, and I'm just going to ease it up here gently and ease it up here like so. There we go. And now this will allow the 2 parts to separate like that. Now that we've got them separated, it's exposed another screw here, and this is a Torx 10. And now remember, we don't actually know that this is faulty at this moment in time. So what I'm going to do is, because I'm not sure of when we put it back together, I can see that there's 2 bits here, and I can see they correspond to going into these grooves here and here. So I'm just going to put a little mark on them. So hopefully then I'll be able to line it up. The circuit board has some sort of conformal coating on it, so I'm just marking the edge of the circuit board so I know where to put this back. Take this bit off here. That's nice and easy. We've got a micro switch here and a micro switch here. I'm just going to test the micro switch just here with the multimeter and press in. Okay, so we now know that that micro switch there is actually okay. Now with this one, I can't see. Is it this one? It might be this one here. So let's see now. Is that on at the moment or off? See, that might actually be on right now. Let's see if I can lift it up. There we go. Right, let's see now. Okay, so it's these 2 contacts here. So I'm going to do that and press this button here. But you can hear it's on now and off now. There you go. So 2 micro switches are definitely okay. Next thing I'm going to look at is the motors. So with the motors, I don't know what voltage these are going to work on, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set my bench power supply just to 3 volts. Yeah, so just a tiny voltage. Obviously they're not going to spin because they're all contained. I just want to see if they twitch. So I'm just at 3 volts now. Right, that's not twitching. Let's try this one. No, I'm just going to up it to 4 volts. Yeah, that twitched. And that twitched. See that move there? There you go. So 100% the motors are working. Oh, actually, that's good. So now we can put that to one side. I'm not going to mess with that because otherwise I'm going to have to line it all up again. So now we can concentrate on what's happening here. Right, annoyingly, this thing looks immaculate here, and I've just gone across the traces. I mean, there's loads of solder balls here, but they're not doing anything. But I've gone from each of the traces, because you can just barely see them, and I've got continuity where it should be. So, for example, I can see one's going up to here, and if I go there, you can hear it, and then that travels up further into it. So I've just gone across them all, and they're okay. We know the micro switches are okay. We know all the traces are okay by just using continuity and following the traces and listening to where it beeps. So really, there's not much else to check here now, apart from the micro switch that goes to here. So with this one, we have a little tab here and here, which is keeping it into place. So we just need to move them outwards in order to get the micro switch up. So you can see there that I'm moving that in there. So I'm just going to do that with my thumb and try to lift this up here. There we go. Micro switch is now out. Right, so continuity. So if I hold them to there like so, and if we press the button, yeah, that's working.
So in my opinion, I can't find anything wrong with this. I think we need to look elsewhere to find out what is causing this door lock not to work.
Okay, so about 1.5 hours has gone by, and do you know what? We were a bit silly because when we went to check the window wasn't working either. So on this door here, not only was the central locking, the locking weren't working, the window wasn't working. The only thing that was working was the speaker. Now, if the window's not working, as well as the door not locking, there was no point in looking at the door lock. So that was a big waste of time. So then we started to think, well, what could it be? And we were thinking, could it be the wiring loom? Because it could be going through here. But only 6 wires were coming through here. And yet, we know on the door lock there was much more than 6 wires between that, the speakers and the windows. So it made us think that there must be some other module in here. So what we did is we took off the door panel here, and sure enough, this motor here was attached to here. So this is the window mechanism. And a load of wires are going in here. So it looks like from here, the wiring from here goes into here, and then it splits off from here to feed the other parts. So we then start to think maybe that is the module that's faulty and not the wiring. So what we did is we took off this door panel here, and we took off the module from here. So what you're looking at now, this one here, is actually the faulty module. So this was on the door we're working on. We took off the module from here and we placed it over onto here, and now this door is now locking and the window's working, and this door is not locking and the window's not working. And also now on the dashboard it's coming up with the doors are open. So obviously there's something on this board here which is not working, which is great because now we can fault find this little board. Worst case scenario, we can just buy the whole window motor thing which will come with this board, but I think it'd be more fun to fault find the board, compare the difference between the two of them, and then see if we can work out what component has failed. I've been busy testing these boards here, and unfortunately it's bad news. Something's gone on this board, but I can't work out what it is. Now 100% it's not the motors. I thought maybe it's possible that the motor was putting too much strain on and possibly causing a fault on it that way. But we've tried both motors on the good board here, and both motors are working. I will show you it working on the bad door, this good one working on the bad door, but we're going to have to buy one off eBay. You can get them for around £25, so it's not overly expensive. It will be fixed, and £25 isn't too much to spend. But I've been measuring what's on the car, and this is on the car's female plug. Yeah, so the socket. And if you have a look here, we have 11.7 volts here. So when you're looking at it like this, this one here is this one here. This is the other side of this on the car. And we have 11.7 volts at the end here, and we've got the negative on this side here, the ground. And we have 11.7 volts on this pin, 10.7 volts here. and nothing on all of the rest of them. Some of them are empty. They might be producing data signals or something. Maybe this has to get a data signal in order to turn it on. But I have been putting 12 volts in. I've got my bench power supply here, and basically it does go through the diode here, and then it goes onto this side, and then it goes onto this side here of that diode, then it goes onto here. My bench power supply is a little low. Let me go all the way up to 11.7. There you go. That's 11.7. Right, so on that side of the diode, you can see there that we have 11 volts. This side of the diode, we've got 2.6. It goes into this, I'm going to call it a MOSFET, but I'm not sure if it is. We've got 2.6 there, 2.6 there, and also 3.1 volts there. That then goes on to feed this chip here. And when I've done the same on this board, the working board, we also have exactly the same voltages. Now, if you have a look around the place, when I go across the capacitors, you can see we've got all different sorts of voltage. We've got 11 volts there, 5 volts there. So everything on this board is testing okay. Then we've got the relay. The relay then goes on to feed the motor for the window. I've tested for grounds on every single capacitor, and there isn't any shorts to grounds. I've tested for all the grounds on the chips, and both chips, as far as ground is concerned, they're coming up on the same pins. Everything on these two boards that I can see are testing the same, yet this board is completely dead. There's no cold solder joints. This thing looks absolutely immaculate. There's no water damage or anything like that. It just looks perfect, but for some reason it's not communicating with the car. So my guess is, and obviously it's only a guess, I'm thinking it's going to be one of these two chips that has gone faulty. So I'm kind of at a loss. You can buy them for £25. So I think, although it's you will see the door working at the end, it would have been nice for us to prove exactly what the fault was. For example, if it was a faulty diode or MOSFET, that would be nice. But still, at the same time, I think the video has value, because at least we've proved that the fault is on this. And most people would look at that and just think it's that's all to do with the motor for the windows, so they wouldn't assume that it's doing anything else. But yet this here is responsible for the door locking, the door showing whether it's open or closed, and the window itself as well. So it's obviously doing a lot more than just working the window. So what we're going to do now is put the wrong side in, but this is the good one. I can't put it in fully because, as you can see, it's left and right, and this is for the other door, but it will show you that the motor's working and stuff. And then we're going to order up one from eBay, get it fitted, and then hopefully it will work for many years to come. Well, apologies, we've lost light now because it got so dark, but this is the good motor assembly on the bad door. This is the bad side of the car, yep. So now if we do the window, you will now see that this mechanism is now working. There we go. Yeah, you can see that that's working there, yep. Now, if we go to open up the door, you will now see that it will recognise it as being open. So if you have a look here on the dashboard, you can see that the left-hand door is closed, which was the faulty one. And now when I go to open it, you can now see that it opens. So all we have to do is order one of those parts off eBay, and then everything should be fine again. So about a week has passed now, and a new one's been ordered up on eBay for only £15, so not expensive at all. But what we're going to do is we're just going to swap over, use the motor and the gearbox from the original faulty one onto this one here, because this particular car hasn't done a lot of mileage, and the back window's very rarely been used, and we don't know what car this one's come from here. So we're just going to basically take the good module out of here and put it into this one here. Okay, so good module. Pop it onto here. There we go. So now we should have a motor with very little use and a module that works. Let's pop this into the car. So here we are. We're just going to locate it here. And now we just need to do up the 3 screws. We're going to get the door skin back on. I know I didn't show the process of taking the door skin off because we were convinced incorrectly that the problem was with the door handle. So let's get this back together and then we can show it working at the very end. So at long last, the door panel is back on. The whole job, if I'm honest with you, hasn't been particularly easy, but the biggest problem was that we misdiagnosed the fault to begin with, so we wasted a huge amount of time when the fault was with the module. If we had realised in time that the window wasn't working as well as the door, we would have then realised it wasn't a door lock. The thing with this car is that it's very common to have door lock problems on, and in the past there was a problem with this lock here, so we jumped to the wrong conclusion that the door lock was faulty. But anyway, main thing is now is that it's working. You can see now if we lock it, it is now locking. Windows are working. If we hold down the unlock button, you can see that they go down now. And as well as that, when we go into the car, let's just unlock it. When we go into the car, the dashboard is now showing the back door working as well. So you can see there that it is now open, and close the door, and it is now closed. So quite a long-winded video. It's going to be a really bitty video. Apologies for that. It's just that there's a lot of work that's gone into this which is not relevant to the actual fault, but it's a trying to fix video, and a lot of people, well, some people, maybe one or two others worldwide, might make the same mistake. So if your Volkswagen Golf has a problem with the door lock not working, just double check if the window's working as well. If the window is working, chances are it's probably going to be a problem with the door lock. If the window is not working, then it's going to be a problem with the module down here, or it can also highly likely that the problems with the wiring's going through here as well. But that is it for this video. If you got any enjoyment from it, give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching. Take care, everyone.
I get the vibe that you're distant. There's something about you that's different. I see it in your eyes. Something isn't right. Tell me again what I'm missing. 'Cause you're fading out. We've been here before. Tell me again, just tell me again, and I'll make it right. Don't go through that door. Tell me again, just tell me again, and I'll make it right. It is a lie when you tell me that nothing is wrong, just leave it be.